Alright, I'm making a video to show how to remove the front bumper of a 1985 Porsche 928 because this is a huge pain to do. I already did the left side, so you can see I have to take bolts. It's just nuts and bolts to hold all around the seams. I busted some of them off, but I'm okay with that because I'm going to weld in stainless steel nuts and bolts into place. Because these are regular steel and they're rust. The big pain is way up here. There's one here which was completely rusted. The nut just spun, and I just ended up grinding it off with something like this. Just grinded it for a while. The other one is way in here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. It's hard to get your hands in there, but yeah, I have that one's worse. That one I ended up snapping the nut with the bolt, which I'm okay with because I'm just going to weld a new bolt with stainless steel. But I'll show the other side. Here's the other side I haven't done yet. The first step is to remove this plastic wheel well, which is held on by mostly 10 millimeters. I mean 8 millimeters, sorry, 8. I think 110 here was this plate, and that's the first step. So now I have the plastic wheel well off. This side has the horns in the way. I'm gonna have to take the horns off. The other side had a canister with a hose, but someone had deleted that, so I didn't have to do that work. Yeah, I gotta take the horns out of the way and start debolting all the bolts that hold like this thing on right here. This thing has to come off. Alright, so I now moved onto removing these bolts, and like everything else you can see that to remove some of the bolts, this is the result. Snap nuts and bolts, which I'm all fine with because I'm going to replace them with stainless steel. But I've tried turning this bolt and I hold it from the inside, which is very difficult. I did it with something like this. Put it in from in here while I turn the nut down here, but it won't. So I'm going to turn to the reciprocating saw to fix this. Alright, turns out I did need to take the bolt. There were two holes here. This is the one that holds the plastic here, which is broken anyway. I have to plastic weld this back on there. But the real bolt you want to take off, which will save you a lot of trouble, is this one back here. And it's this bolt, but I doubt that's original. In fact, this has all been, someone's been here before, put plain steel bolts that rusted like nothing. And yeah, I'm at the point where the bumper is coming off now. So I got to be careful now about the hoses to the sprayer nozzles, which the main reason I'm taking it off, also because I'm painting the car, is this one's like this. They won't go back in, so yeah. As for like getting the bolts off the fender, because it is tricky. This side I got lucky. None of the bolts here snapped. See? These all didn't snap. The other side I had a few, but I'm gonna try to weld, which is this metal thing back here. So I'm gonna just probably grind these the broken ones out and weld stainless steel ones on. But the main trick in here see if I can get the tool. The main troublesome ones are going to be the ones like this bolt right here, which these are all at 8 millimeters, so you're going to need something like that. Spend half an hour turning the bolt very slowly. I was lucky because on this side, that bolt actually came out with no problem. On the other side, it was rusted and just spun in place. So I ended up taking something like this to drill out and literally grind down the bolts so I could pull it out. The other one is really tricky. There's one right in here. I could barely see it, but you get a swivel socket for a long socket 8mm, and that should get the bolt out of there. I can't imagine how I'm gonna get this on there without going troublesome, but there you go, the bumper is off. So now I can move on with my life.